Hey, welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. What's up, Rob?
Hey, hello.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, Sean. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Back after a couple weeks. Steve went on a little vacation. Failed to tell us about it in advance. So
No, that is not true. I was ready to record last week. You said you didn't want to. You didn't feel like it.
that's all. I need a lot, man.
Then I got stuck
like
at my fucking Then I got stuck at work, and then
I
it
didn't
was
say
the
I didn't
weekend.
feel like it. You wanted to record at like 10:30 at night.
It was
and I was like, no, let's do
10:30 at night. It was the day before.
Do you not know that we're an hour ahead of you?
7:30 is not 10:30 your time.
Do you want me to go to the text?
It's later.
Wrong?
Yes.
You want me to do it?
Yes. You said like I'm not feeling like it.
Yeah, because it was late as fuck.
Yeah. It wasn't.
You were
10:30.
like, I'm not gonna be. It was like 10:30 at night.
That was the day after Wednesday. You said I don't want to. I don't feel like recording today. That was Wednesday, and then Thursday I got stuck out at work. I didn't get home till fucking almost the Grizzly game was over. Dude,
that feels like your fault.
I got this. I got the text, bro.
Got to cancel. How about
Steve says he texted at 7:00.
Yeah,
or you did. You said no podcast tonight. I'm assuming. Steve's sitting at home watching Mando. Didn't even tell us he was home.
What are you talking
I can be
about?
on in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I said I'd be on in 20 minutes. That was like, it'll be 7:20, the same time we're recording right now.
Well, that's because I just got home.
Look, man.
But I told you
guys
earlier.
You can throw me under the bus. It's
6 hours ago
it's
what
fine.
time I'd be home. Unlike you sitting at home watching Mando, didn't even tell us.
This is my favorite thing to do. I'm always ready unless I'm stuck at fucking work.
It is too early in the podcast for that energy. Bring it down,
bro.
Look,
and then Sean said, I'd rather do it tomorrow.
Yes. And it was not 10:30 at night.
What time was that? What time was that, Rob, that I said that?
7:20.
7 something.
Were you home yet?
7.
Dude, it's okay. You're wrong.
But he never told us he got home. I just assumed he was working late again.
Dude,
here's my text I got from him, unless I'm on the wrong date.
God. This was revisionist history. I got the same fucking text. Why are we... Dude,
Thursday you cancel. Right.
Yes, I was stuck at work. Wednesday, I said, let's go. I'm finishing up the Mando. I'll be on in 20. That's it.
Rather do tomorrow. Okay, it was 8:02. Rob, it was 8:02 my time.
Yeah.
That's late. That's late, bro. That's late. That's late for impromptu podcast.
So it was 7:00 our time, which is what time we normally record. 7:00.
It was too late.
Dude, it's the time we always record, 7:00. We've done it for the last fucking 4 months.
We didn't start this till 8:30.
Okay, whatever. You didn't want to do it, so now it's my fault.
I did want to do it, but I wasn't ready to do it that late.
I said I'll be on in 20.
So
7:20. So sorry.
I had everything ready, and then
20.
Why you come on attacking me? I said I wanted to do it. You said I don't feel like it tonight. Late. I don't feel like it tonight.
I said I'd rather do tomorrow. And then you canceled on Thursday.
I can't help it. I got stuck fucking doing a goddamn tour that my boss told me about 2 fucking days before the people are supposed to arrive. It's not my fucking fault. Jesus.
Don't take it out on me. I'm not your boss.
I just turned on. I said, hey, how you doing? And I got shit canned from both of you fucking jumping on me. Like, what the fuck, man?
No. All I'm saying is Wednesday, when I got home, I turned on my computer, downloaded any updates, was ready to go. I waited for 3 hours, and then I texted you at 7. I'm the one that initiated the text at 7:00. And I was being sarcastic. I said, I guess we're not doing the podcast tonight.
Guess what?
Like,
sarcasm doesn't transfer.
At home in my pajamas, smoking a cigar, watching Mando.
It's fucking whenever you guys want. All you gotta do is send a text. I'm the only one that fucking
You're the one that gets
home
late, though. We don't.
I love doing the podcast.
Okay, well then, what's the problem? Why you fucking want me not to do the podcast?
I wasn't in the mindset.
You're missing the point of this whole thing.
I was. You basically made it out that we weren't going to do it, and so I was in that mindset, and I think I was tired.
Oh, okay. So your mindset. It's too late. Okay, it's too late. I'm sorry. It was 10 minutes past the time we normally record.
That's not true.
I didn't know you're so.
At 8:03, you said you'd be on and you'd be done in 20 minutes.
I had no idea. You must have a rough day, staying at home all day while I was out working and fucking doing bullshit.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. It's real tough.
But yeah,
right.
so
what's your point?
My point is, Steve canceled both podcasts last week. So
That's not fucking true.
That's the takeaway here.
All right,
Steve fucked up, so we missed an episode.
This is Sean generating content. He does a good job. I'll give him that. What do you want?
This is content. What are you talking about?
I said this
whole show is content.
I just said this is Sean generating content. I said good job.
Yeah, so Steve fucked up. He apologizes.
No, that's not what I said.
Rob and I are ready to go.
No.
2 days in a row.
No,
didn't work out. And yeah, so sorry about
that.
Okay, so you want me to text you every time then? From now on,
communication is important.
If you know you're going to be late, you can text us before 5 minutes before.
I did. It was Thursday, and I said, "Holy shit, I'm not going to get out of here ever." So I sent you guys a text at like 5 o'clock.
Well, we don't do the show always on Thursday. What happened to Wednesday when you're sitting at home watching?
Why is it my fault? You can text
it's your show.
It's not my show. It's that name. It's a funny name. It could be. It's Sean's show. He's the smarter one. It's just my name.
Not how this works.
It's just Steve reads. It's a stupid, simple thing. Steve reads a comic.
I agree with
Rob is right though. We had zero communication from Steve.
Oh my gosh, this is so much bullshit. I have the fucking text. If you want to record, all you gotta do is say, "Hey, we're recording," and I'll say, "Yes, I can record." Hey, man. Or no, I'm stuck at fucking work.
It's okay. I learned my lesson.
It's not hard.
I'm not setting up shit until I get a text from one of you guys. And y'all can just wait for me.
Why would you? You don't want to do the podcast. You'd rather sit in your underwear and watch Sports Center.
My whole point
We're not expecting a freaking text from you.
My whole point is it's about being courteous.
Dude.
Communication is key.
That's my whole point.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, courteous? Do you want to do the podcast? We have a time. We have Wednesday or Thursday.
No, he doesn't
Wednesday or Thursday. Every Wednesday or Thursday, I think we're going to do the podcast.
Right.
It's like when Rob says, "Oh, you didn't invite my wife over." Your fucking family. You come over whenever you want. No, it's not my fucking fault.
That's not me.
Like, this is bullshit. That's not me. Why would I not want to see my fucking family?
This is taking a nasty turn.
Yeah, because you guys like to instigate shit, and you know you're fucking right.
I was just sharing. I was just trying to update our podcast audience why we didn't have an episode last week and that it was all your fault. That's all I was trying to say.
Okay, well, you got the same.
Relay this information.
You got the same login information as I do. You could be like, "Hey, Steve's a fucktard. We're not going to record tonight." You could have sent that text out to the people. The people know our schedule's all fucked up by now if they're still listening.
People like consistency in their scheduling. That's all.
Look, I said let's do it every Friday, every Saturday, so we're all not working. Anyway. What happened? What happened to that? Right. Oh, okay. You guys are silent now. All right.
I'm fine with that.
I don't want to do it Fridays.
Okay, exactly. Okay, stop bitching about when I can be you about or not. I told you I was available. Dude, I tell you when I'm not available.
What I'm bitching about. Once again, you missed the whole thing. If you can't do it, and you know you can't do it at freaking 10 o'clock, then I'll say I can't do Wednesday morning. But
if I know I can't do it, then I'll say I can't do it.
You can't do it.
If I know I can't do it, I say I can't do it. Like Thursday, I said I can't do it.
Hey, let's move on.
Like, yeah. Why don't you stop starting shit, motherfucking instigator? Damn.
I thought I was doing a bit. I didn't know I was going to hurt.
Yeah, you fucking know. You fucking know. You sent that text. You said I didn't want to do it. I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't want to record tonight.
I said I'd rather do tomorrow because the only information or the only communication I had was from Rob at 8 o'clock at night saying, "Hey, what's going on?" or are we doing this or not? And you're like, I can do it in 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. At that point, I had just resigned myself to the fact that we weren't doing it. But again, none of this actually matters.
Okay,
I don't know
8
why you're so upset about this.
Okay, 8
none
o'clock
of this matters.
Your time, 8 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock my time, which is the time we normally record. So I didn't think 20 minutes would get your panties in a bunch. I'm sorry.
I don't think I'm the one who has the bunched up panties here, but that's fine. I'll take it.
I think so.
My panties are all bunched up.
Both of you apparently I need to send the text every time now.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, communication.
Because we're always available
why don't you say
when
that?
We normally
You're
do
more
the
passive
podcast.
aggressive than my wife. Why don't you just
I'm
send
not
a text?
being aggressive at all. I'm being passive here. I think you're misreading my whole
No, why don't you just say, Steve, send a text when you're ready.
That's all you got. Communication is important. Communication.
You're almost 40 years old. If you don't know to do that by now, then you're a goddamn
40.
Idiot.
He said you're almost 40.
How old are you now?
Whatever.
Oh, you are 40. You're almost 45.
Dude. I said I'm always ready.
All right.
If I'm not, I'll tell you.
This is so pointless.
I'll tell you I'm not ready.
This is like when Howard Stern would just let his interns and producers argue for an
that
hour.
Shit, it's fucking
it's so good. It's so good. This is not entertaining at this point.
Okay.
It's all toxic energy. Let's clear this out. All right. So
stop
James
throwing
Gunn,
me under the bus and it won't be toxic.
All right. Now you may continue. If you would just show up for the podcast. Anyway, James Gunn is going to be
you fucking dick.
Yeah. James Gunn announced today, not only is he writing the new Superman movie, he is also going to be directing it. So that is very cool news, in my opinion. It's not surprising, not a huge surprise, I guess, but he finally has let everybody know that he will be directing it. So this is big news for Superman, though, because Superman's due for a really good movie, and I think he's the guy to pull it off.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Dude, he's James Gunn. I mean, fucking, this shit's gold, man. Like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fucking awesome. You know, especially from what he said about it and everything.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. Fucking stoked.
And he keeps referencing the All-Star Superman, like in his pictures and stuff, which is a great influence to go to.
Did we ever read that or not? Did we read that? I can't remember.
We either read it or watched it. Or it's something I told you to watch. I don't know if we did the comics or not. I don't think we did. But I know I've watched it. I've read it. I think Rob has probably watched it.
Yes.
But yeah, it's something I've been a big fan of for a long time. One of my favorite Superman stories. No, I think we did like Superman for All Seasons, another great Superman story. I don't know what other Superman stuff we've done. I don't remember. I have a terrible memory, as you guys know. So that's some big news. What else, man? So did everybody watch Mandalorian today? We got 2 episodes to talk about. Nobody watched it today.
I fucking forgot, dude. I fucking forgot. I've been home since
I didn't forget,
noon, and I totally forgot.
I just got home.
Dude, this podcast is canceled.
I'm sorry. That one is my fault. I fucked up on that. I should.
All right. What about last week's? All right. Did we watch last week's?
Yeah.
Yes.
We could talk about he made it to the living waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Yes.
So he bathed in them and promptly fell down 100 feet in his fucking arm. Because, when you take a bath, it's good to wear the heaviest armor in the world before you jump in.
This is the way.
Are you an idiot?
Right. And then, but what was cool though is we saw that Mythosaurus, whatever it's called.
He was like, "Ooh, what's that?"
Well, did he swim in water in the Christmas special? Like, was he submerged in water or what?
He could touch.
He go what?
But did he take his jetpack off? I don't remember. If he took his jetpack off, that was the problem because obviously you can use those underwater.
I'm saying the Mythosaur. Is the Mythosaur? Is it normally underwater? Like, did they show that in the Christmas special?
Oh no, he was like riding it. If that was a Mythosaur.
Okay.
From the Christmas special.
Was that a Mythosaur from the Christmas special? I don't know.
I don't remember. I think it was implied maybe, but I don't remember what it looked like now.
I thought there was only one. I thought it was like one.
That makes no sense.
The mighty Mythosaur. So yeah, that was a sweet reveal, man. I thought that was awesome.
Was really cool. I do like that they're getting into the lore. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that thing he's on, I'm looking at a picture. That is not a Mythosaur. That looks more like a duck-billed brontosaurus is what I would call that.
Oh, I thought that was the mighty Mythosaur.
No, the Mythosaur skull, right? Like
yeah,
the one, this does not look like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I know Boba Fett rode that one, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Like I said, it's a duck-billed brachiosaurus or something. Yeah. Like it's not.
Okay, so
it's not a Mythosaur.
All right, I thought that was.
I love that they're building. I like that they're building out the Mandalorian mythos. So like even though that also what's her face Bo-Katan still just chilling in her castle in full armor, for no reason. She just sits on the throne. She doesn't have a video game, a TV show, a fucking iPhone. No, she just sits on her throne. That's it. That's her whole life, sitting on what looks to be a not very comfortable throne.
She's got a droid that broadcasts TV through his eyeballs. Come on.
Yeah.
But she just sits there. Every time we see her, she's just sitting there. I'm like, that's not some good. They need to do better character work than that. Show her making models. Show her what's her hobbies. She's got to
being mad.
That's very weird to me. It's very strange behavior.
Well, they're supposed to. She's supposed to She has no kingdom. She has no tribe. She has nothing.
Yeah, but you just going to sit on your throne and mope in your full armor? I want to see her like walking around in like a robe and slippies, and like that's realistic. Like that's what you'd be doing in that giant. You just be moping around watching the fucking Coruscant news channel. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want to just sit there. You'll be like, I got to get dressed to go sit on my throne and stare into space. Like that's I don't understand that. But anyway, we did see some other stuff too. Mando still having trouble with the Darksaber. Bo-Katan has no problems with the Darksaber. So I think they're going to be alluding to her becoming the leader again, potentially. I will warn you, this is what I will say without spoilers about today's episode. It starts off good. It ends good. The entire middle section, which is the bulk of it, I actually fast forwarded through parts of it.
No, not on the first viewing.
On the first viewing,
my God.
I was so incredibly bored with the story they decided to tell and the characters they decided to follow that I was like, I reached a point where I probably fast forwarded through. It's probably 8 to 10 minutes of footage before I was like, oh, something's happening. Let me stop. And then I was very disappointed in the middle section. However, beginning and end, fully on board with. Middle section, holy shit, what the fuck are they doing?
All right, let's back up to the episode I saw. How about that machine that he had to fight? That was cool and creepy,
I was trying to figure out what that eyeball was. It kind of reminded me of like Jabba the Hutt's eyeball.
Yeah, it was weird as hell. Yeah,
it was like real big looking, but it might have been magnified. That was cool. Yeah, and then
did you think for a split second? I forgot what part of the timeline I was in, so I wasn't sure. But I was like, "Is this like some of the machine parts that like Darth Maul used when he spidered himself or whatever?" Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, where are we? Where is Darth Maul in this timeline? I have no idea.
Right.
He's way dead, right? Because this is after.
I think he's dead.
He's not way dead because I think he's dead, but he was in the
I don't know.
Shit, Bo-Katan was in. Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Because Obi-Wan was relatively young when he killed him, right?
Yeah.
No, he was gray-haired. He was gray-haired.
Was he?
It was in Rebels, so he was still alive in Rebels.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought for a split second, I was like, is Darth Maul still alive? Are we going to see Spider Machine?
I think
Darth
it's
Maul?
the same concept, though.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Where the guy falls in the pit and he's got nothing but machines to work with and an eyeball, evidently.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a solid episode for the most part. Again, I do like getting into that lore. And so, yeah, after today's episode, it's funny because like I was so mad at the middle part and then they got to the end and I was just like fully on board again. I'm like, oh, this is great. They sucked me right back in because I just love the Mandalorian so much, despite their stupid religious keep your helmet on nonsense. They look so fucking cool, man. I'm a kid when it comes to Star Wars, man. That's one of the main draws is the look of that whole universe,
and when he lit up the Darksaber, you're like, oh yes,
yeah.
Even though he couldn't wield it, and then Bo-Katan used it, but man, all that stuff is just golden.
I was thinking about like we're getting a new Indiana Jones movie this year. What's the first movie you remember seeing in a movie theater? Like for sure that like that you have an actual memory of going to the movies and seeing it on the big screen.
Oof. I don't know.
All right, well, I'll tell you mine since, and I was surprised to find out what year this came out. Because there was 3 movies that I saw, 4 movies, and I thought one of them was the first one. I thought Raiders of the Lost Ark was the first movie I saw in a theater that I remembered. But that came out in 81, stayed in theaters for almost a year. So I might have seen it in 82 even, but I probably saw it in 81. But the very first movie I actually saw in 79, which means I was 3 years old, and it was The Black Hole. The Disney's The Black Hole. I don't know if you guys, but I saw that. I remember seeing it, and then the next year
it's playing at the Lynn.
And the next year I saw.
You remember shit when you were 3? Holy hell!
Yeah, and I'm stunned because I'm like, what? Because again, there's 2 movies I very vividly remember: Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. That was 81 and 82. But when I think of, there's actually 3 movies I saw before that. So 79 was The Black Hole, came out in December of 79. The following year, there were 2 more movies that came out in December: Popeye the movie and Flash Gordon the movie. Saw both of those in the theater.
Flash.
So then I realized, I was like, why are all my movie memories in December? And then I remembered, oh, because I would get to go to my grandma's house. And this is before my mom was nuts, even though, like, before she took the TV away and stuff. So, like, so apparently when I would go to the movies, it was with my grandparents, and it was almost always December. Like, I have no memory of seeing Empire Strikes Back in the theater. I may have, but that came out in May. So there's a good chance I didn't. But again, I very much remember, and I remember going with my grandparents to see Raiders of the Lost Ark, which came out in like June or July. But what I was reading today is that movie literally ran until like April of the next year. So who knows when I actually saw it. And the other memory I have of Raiders of the Lost Ark, though, and I don't know who to verify this with, but I swear to God, I saw it at like the Akron Civic Theater, because it was like the craziest, biggest theater I'd ever seen in my life at that point. And it was old fashioned, and it had, like, you know, the marquees and the lights, and we were downtown Akron. And so I don't know if they actually used to play movies there. But it was like a big deal.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I remember theaters more than I do the movies, you know, like where I know I was at the Linda. I know I was at the Lynn. I know I was at that shitty one on Arlington there in that plaza. Remember, there used to be a plaza there, and you'd have to walk all the way.
Akron Square.
Yeah, that's right. You had to go all the way to the back of that plaza, and you're like, oh, look, there's a movie theater back here. you know?
felt like Batman might be somewhere perching on a rooftop, because it just felt like dirty and strange.
Exactly. So I mean, those were mid 80s. So I know I saw movies during that time. I just don't remember what like the first one was, because we went.
I don't remember. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the only one I remember the theater, because it was such a crazy experience. And then I do remember where I saw E.T. in 82. That was at the Chapel Hill one. And I remember, because that was one where I like cried my fucking eyes out. And I went with, like, I think our friend's mom dropped. It was like my sister, our friend Lizzie, and me, and maybe her sister Jenny. But we got dropped off at the mall and to watch E.T. And I just remember sobbing, like just sobbing like a little bitch.
I didn't see that one until after it was on video. What about you, Rob? Do you remember? You saw Star Wars, right?
I remember going to see Star Trek, the motion picture.
Oh, and that was
what was that, like 1980? What was that?
1979 or 8.
Okay.
So shortly there.
Star Wars is probably the.
But I'm asking, like, what do you have like, what's your earliest actual memory? And like, that's when I was shocked to learn that the Black Hole came out. Because that's the only time I've ever watched it.
Is Black Hole the one with the robot with the big eyes that floated around?
The big floaty trash. There's like a junky looking one.
I remember going to see that at the Lynn with Dad. That was 80 or 79.
79. Yeah. It was 79. And I remember going to see that.
I remember seeing that at the Lynn.
Okay. I just remember like wanting to see the movie because of the robots, and then I remember being bored out of my fucking mind because I was a kid, and it wasn't like, it looked like a Star Wars type movie, but it was more of a Star Trek type movie. And as a 3-year-old, that's not where my head was. So I liked seeing the robots, but
I remember seeing Star Trek with Dad. I think it was at Chapel Hill. And Star Wars I saw so many fucking times, but I remember going with my neighbor. I think it was the first time I saw it. And I was that just changed my life.
That's a good first movie to see if that was it.
I mean, I remember. I mean, I'm sure Dad took me to other movies. There were kids' movies, but nothing that I remember specifically. Like, I definitely remember, which is good for me because my memory sucks. But I remember the sci-fi movies. Like, I can specifically remember sitting with Dad in a theater or something like that. But like the kids' movies, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
My first memory of a Star Wars movie, like I don't know when I saw Star Wars the first one, and I know I've seen it the most, but I have a very specific memory of watching Empire Strikes Back on a TV at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Like in their living room. And then Return of the Jedi, I remember seeing it at the theater. My mom actually took me to see that. I must have like begged her.
I remember waiting in line at Chapel Hill to see Return of the Jedi.
And that's where I saw it too.
It was like
Chapel Hill.
all the way down, and I remember like everybody was just
we must have watched it
because like, dude, it ended on a fucking cliffhanger. Nobody knew that fucking Darth Vader was fucking.
Oh, Empire, you mean?
Yeah, we didn't know. We thought he was lying, and nobody knew.
Right?
Was that really his father? Was that? Dude, we had to wait like 3 years for that shit, man.
And then with Return of the Jedi, like I remember seeing that, and like we must have seen it really late in the run because there was like hardly anybody there. So it must have been like 3 months later or something.
We had a line all the way down to fucking J.C. Penney's, you know? I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But
I remember those lines.
I remember watching it, and when he did the springboard shit, everybody was like, ah! Because, you know, you didn't have Jedis doing monkey flips until then, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome. I was a little bit older then, but...
Yeah. The first time I remember going to a movie that was like packed was like Batman Returns.
I think that was the first time they charged a premium ticket price too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like more money than a normal ticket.
What, for Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude,
no, A Few Good Men was packed when we went on like a Friday night and had to sit in like the second row. I remember. I don't know what year that was. That might have been 91.
That's funny.
I think I saw Snow White at the drive-in. That was real early on. That might have been it.
I saw Bambi. I remember seeing Bambi at the Lynn. That's the one movie I do remember seeing at the Lynn, very specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom took me to see that. That was probably like 81 or so, 82.
We're so old.
Yeah, I was shocked to learn that because again, the only other time I've even tried to watch The Black Hole is when I was on doing John's podcast and we went to watch it because it came on. I think Disney Plus was new and they put it on Disney Plus. I'm like, let's watch The Black Hole, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, dude, I was bored by it at 3. I'm bored by it at 44. Man, you know, like I was like, apparently my instincts were good as a 3-year-old. I was like, this movie's boring. I like the robots. Very boring movie.
I'll have to see this now.
It's on Disney Plus. Check it out. Don't watch it with the kids. Not because it's scary, just because they'll just get bored and leave.
I don't know. I watched Bloodsport and what did we watch? Oh, Lionheart.
Yeah, those are exciting movies. Those are not boring.
I don't know.
Those are fun.
They're pretty
man.
okay. Thanks, bro. I guess I mean bad, not boring. I guess
those are great. Don't besmirch the Jean-Claude Van Damme and his wonderful catalog of fantastic
I forgot
movies.
That guy had a compound fracture when Brooklyn and I were watching it. I was like, whoops. She's like, what's that? I was like, that's his bone.
You're like, the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone.
Not anymore.
Speaking of Star Wars, there's a show on Apple TV, Apple Plus, whatever it's called. It's called Shrinking, and Harrison Ford is in it. And he looks old, but he is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
he is great in this. It's got Jason Segel, and Harrison Ford, and I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head.
I saw that. I saw an ad for that on the.
I saw the trailer.
Dude, Harrison Ford is fantastic. He is the show. He cracks me up, dude.
Yeah,
he's great.
So watch that then for sure.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, I was thinking about checking that out. Very good.
The Last of Us wrapped up. Did you finish watching it, Steve?
I did. It ended just like the game. It was good. That's
the other reason I want to watch it is I feel like, again, I've already kind of sat through the story. Yeah. Granted, it was an inferior version of the story, I'm sure.
This one had no dead eyes in it. The acting was pretty good. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have not played The Last of Us 2 yet because I don't have a. Can you get it on a PS4? Because I knew it came out.
I have no idea.
I don't have a PS5, so I haven't even played the second one yet. So I don't know what goes on. Or if they're planning
on there. I don't know for sure.
Did you know if they planned on continuing this show?
Oh yeah, they're gonna be doing a season 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
I didn't know. I didn't know if that's just how it wrapped up.
But is it on HBO? Is it on? If it's on HBO, anything could go.
Yeah.
Well, I just heard Willow got canceled after one season. Which
that wasn't very.
Did you watch it?
Very well done.
I've never even seen the movie, and it is like I'm like happy when people get like when like a lesser known property that wasn't really popular. It makes me happy to see when it gets revisited and it gets this time it got a show and they got a lot of the original actors back in there. I had zero interest in it, and apparently a lot of people felt the same because it got canceled, so nobody fucking watched it. Because again, like there's not a huge Willow fan base. That's not a thing. It's just not like you don't see that. I never saw it. I never had a lot of desire to see it, except for when I was a kid. I wanted to see it, but I just never saw it, and it didn't look like anything I wanted to see.
The movie
and
was
that one's
better.
Yeah. Did you watch the series?
Mm-hmm. I watched it.
Oh, did you?
Molly. She's a big Willow fan.
Okay, so they're out there.
But
they're out there like Avatar fans, but except Avatar fans show up.
I don't even know if she finished it. So
yeah,
I wanted to watch the first one again before I started the show, and then I put in me and Kristen watched the first one, and I don't think we got through it. I was just like, it's too old for me.
It's 80s.
Yeah. I mean, but 80s can mean great. It can mean, that it doesn't necessarily, like my kids love like they love Back to the Future. They love Terminator. They love Predator.
Some things hold up.
Yeah, some things are just done better. Princess Bride, like that's one that's, kind of in that genre. I mean, it's probably late 80s, probably like 89, maybe 90.
I remember liking Willow when I first watched it, but then I watched it again. I just didn't like it.
So that's sad news for all 36 of those fans.
You know what I watched instead of The Mandalorian? I watched Ted Lasso. And the cheese continues. It's too much cheese.
Oh, is it back?
It just came out today.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about signing up for Apple Plus again when it came on. I realized it was back.
Yeah, you
watched that Mando?
Yeah, that's why I was so
fired.
Dude, the cheese. You thought it was cheesy last season and the first season. Oh, it's super cheese this season.
See,
you're not gonna like it.
I really do. I like some of the characters. I really like. I don't know. But I like some of the characters, but I also it just reminds me of like watching like Perfect Strangers or something, or like Step by Step, but with a modern twist where it's just like, oh god,
yeah,
like just the schmaltz and all that stuff is just not for me.
It's full on schmaltz. You're not going to make it through this season.
So I guess I'll wait till Severance is back, and then I'll pick it back up.
Yeah, you got my password.
Watch Shrinking.
I'll give you my password. You can log in and watch it if you want.
I'll do that. I am like as much as I shit on Ted Lasso, I do like aspects of it a lot. And then there's just parts of it that just kind of rub me wrong. It's not a bad show, but it reminds me of like The Office too a little bit, where The Office could be really funny, but then they would try to be sentimental, and my eyes would just roll out of my fucking head. That's why I love like stuff like 30 Rock and Seinfeld. Zero sentimentality, pure comedy. No room for fucking sentimentality. Like that's my wheelhouse.
Did anybody watch the Oscars?
Fuck no. I'm watching a bunch of rich people patting themselves on the back. Go fuck yourselves.
I didn't watch it either, but I'm starting to think maybe I didn't understand the movie that won Best Picture. I watched it.
No, that's not the problem.
I'm like, did I not get it? I didn't get it. Like, do I need to rewatch this?
Remember movies that have been nominated, remember movies that have won, and how terrible they've been or how mediocre they've been. I didn't even fit. I was so stoked for Everything Everywhere All at Once. It looked really cool, but it turns out it was a very one-note concept with very mediocre writing. And so when I went into it, I was pumped, and I started watching it. I didn't even finish it because I was just like, when they got to the scene where they're shoving stuff in their butts so they can stay in that realm longer, and I understood it was supposed to be funny or shocking, and it, you know how I am when something's supposed to be funny and it doesn't register as funny with me. I just you take me out of it, man. And
like, I'll give you like one Oscar or something but like, dude, it won like multiple Oscars. Best Picture? Are you fucking kidding me?
Sean, what was that show with Armie Hammer and Glover?
A show, a TV show?
No, that movie that you got me to watch that was freaking hilarious.
I
thought it was going to be like that. I haven't seen it yet.
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah. Have you watched that yet, Steve?
Yeah, we talked about it multiple times.
I don't think you've
that
watched
guy,
it.
Boots Riley, the
Steve
writer
hasn't
director
watched
of that.
It yet.
He said he watched it.
We've talked about it on the podcast.
How'd it end?
No, we're not doing spoilers.
We already spoiled it last time on the podcast.
No, we didn't. Because I don't want to spoil it. That one's got such a great twist that you will never see coming.
I don't think Steve's watched it.
I don't think he has a reason to lie about it.
But I don't think he had. I just don't
think it had the impact with him that it did with with all the stuff about socialism in there and stuff. Like I just love that movie. But anyway, Boots Riley, the creator of that, has a show coming out that's like I'm a Virgo or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's about a 13-foot tall man dating around in San Francisco or something. I don't know. It's a crazy concept. I'm on board with it already. 13-foot tall dude. I have no idea why that the guy's 13 feet tall. I don't know what that's for, but I'm sure it matters. And I'm stoked to watch anything Boots Riley does because of Sorry to Bother You, which a movie that did that even get an Oscar nomination? That movie was fantastic.
I doubt it.
That was like so well done with a really good twist that nobody could have possibly fucking predicted.
There's no way you could have predicted that.
You just don't see that coming, man.
There's just no way.
Like me, my buddy John, I think he had seen it and he was like, you got to go see it. And it was on my radar, but it was only playing at like one theater. And like it wasn't playing in a lot of theaters, but Maggie and I ended up going to see it. We ended up driving out to that one theater to go see it, and we both just loved it.
Yeah, I remember you saying you took Maggie and everything. You're like, dude, you got to see this movie.
It's a
so
great
like
movie.
three years later, I watched it.
Yeah, of course, but at least you watched it. But again, way better than I didn't finish Everything Everywhere All at Once, but that's an indictment of the movie. Like they didn't hook me. I didn't care enough. I could just, and I love Ki Hai Kwan, or however you say his name. I love Michelle Yeoh. I've loved her since like Super Cop. But also the stuff actually seemed predictable, and it seemed like the gimmick was what they were selling it on it, but the gimmick wasn't strong enough. And it's like the opposite of the Matrix, where the gimmick for the Matrix was like amazing and just was like, whoa, just pure fucking Keanu Reeves, whoa. And this was not whoa. It was like they kept it was propping it up as being like better than Doctor Strange, which it probably is. But
it was good. It just, I was like, gee, I didn't think it was nearly that good.
No.
Jesus Christ!
I haven't watched the Oscars in years because they're a bunch of pretentious fuckheads who don't know what quality. One, it's all about campaigns and money, because that one movie got nominated. And the people whoever runs the Oscars, whatever they're called, the Academy, they were like, we need to look at our whatever procedures for nomination procedures. We don't. So basically, this director, or whoever, or studio didn't pay money to fucking get this thing nominated, and they were upset about it, which is just like, that's so telling. So you have a lot of campaigning. If you don't campaign, you're not going to get nominated. Basically, is how it works. And if you don't have so that's all bullshit. And then again, the fact that they won't like put a comedy or a horror movie up, like I've seen horror movies that are so much better than standard movies, and they're fucking cowards. They're cowards. They don't want to do that. Like the only reason they put Black Panther up is because it had the all black cast and was so popular. They used to, we don't want to look racist. We got to put Black Panther up. They only put Dark Knight. They only put Heath Ledger up because he fucking died. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it takes for you to get like some genre fare at the fucking Oscars. And then the majority of the stuff, the one that I need to see, like my buddy Mark said to watch All Quiet on the Western Front, which is on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't been in a mood for that kind of movie. It seems like dark.
Rob, you've seen that, right?
Probably.
It came out last year. It's like think there's another movie with that name, or it's a remake.
Oh,
or
I was
something.
gonna
it was
say
the
that's an
black and
old ass
white.
movie. I was like, that came
No,
out.
it was up for Best Picture.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the original. I was like, Rob, see that
No,
came right
no, I was
out
talking about
after Casablanca.
That's what I thought he was talking about.
Well, they got it. They got it right with Son of a Woman. The Academy didn't fuck up there. They did a great job with that Best Picture.
See, and I think that when I watch that, and I do like that movie, but I'm like, it's corny. It's fucking corny in hindsight. Like, dude, Spider-Man: Far From Home or No Way Home should have been up for an Oscar, dude. It's a better movie. It had a great emotional beats. It had great comedic beats. The special effects were amazing. And then Son of a Woman is just like, it's good. It's a good movie, and Pacino's performance is great.
Out of order. I'll show you out of order.
that part at that whole court, any type of like court scene in a movie where everybody's like excited and they're giving like these big speeches. I'm just like, oh, this is terrible. This would never happen. And again, it just takes me out of it. I don't like it.
No, that's not.
They don't let you fucking do that shit. They don't let you do that shit. Like
The History of My Skin by Charles Sims.
Enjoyable movie, a great movie. I don't know that it was. I don't know what else came. What year did that come out? I don't even know.
Was that 98?
Was that 89?
No, it was 90s.
98.
I don't remember. But damn, I've watched that movie more than most movies.
Well, I only know of it because of you, because it did not look like a movie that would appeal to me at all.
Well, that's why I never know what I'm going into. Charlie. I never know. Like, we thought Braveheart was going to suck, and then we're like, oh, we went and saw Johnny Mnemonic instead of Braveheart. Well, we fucked the pooch there. But yeah, Son of a Woman was another one.
Braveheart was
like stupid.
Didn't it? Didn't Braveheart win Best Picture?
Yeah. I thought it did. I don't know.
Let's see if I can find out what came out that year.
For what? Son of a Woman year?
Yeah, that must have been 93.
Yeah,
because 92 was Silence of the Lambs, which was a really good movie. But then they also have nominated like fucking Best Picture. Beauty and the Beast gets a nom. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, how dare you.
It's always like, it's so many movies that you never even talk about again.
Movie.
Nobody talks about The Prince of Tides. Nobody talks about Bugsy. That's what I mean. Like, these nominations are bullshit. Like, like, put a movie, have some fucking cowards.
Stay away from Barbra Streisand, bro.
Was that The Prince of Tides? Was she in that?
Mm-hmm.
Barbra Streisand, yeah.
Who was the male lead?
Nick
Nolte, dude. I was thinking of Gerard Depardieu. I was like, I know this. It's a big old. There's a white guy with a big face. That's all I can think of.
Let me look at the 93 ones.
Did you guys watch Poker Face?
I watched first episode. That was corny. I couldn't get into it. I really like Natasha Lyonne, but it you know what it reminded me of was fucking Highway to Heaven, like where. You go, it's like every week you go and help somebody in a different town, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that was the vibe I got from Poker Face.
I don't know what.
I only watched the first episode because I do like Natasha. I like that, what's that Russian Doll? I haven't watched the second season yet, but I really like Russian Doll.
Molly's watched it. I only watched the first episode.
We watched Poker Face. And again, it's Rian Johnson, so there's always some cheese to it. There's always just like the little bit of.
They got a hell of a cast, though, man.
Hey, what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What channel is it on? I want to watch it.
It's on Peacock.
Peacock, okay. You said Highway to Heaven. And I'm like, oh,
that's why I leaned over to Maggie. I'm like, this is because they had like a thing at the end where they showed you like what, like the first episode was like good, and I thought it was like. I mean, they had it established the overarching storyline of why she's on the run, but I was like, oh God, she's just going to go from town to town and help people like fucking Michael Landon, like fucking Highway to Heaven. Like I just, that's the vibe I got from the show.
Bullshit.
All right. So Best Picture actually went to Unforgiven that year, not Son of a Woman.
Oh fuck! Oh. Well, the Academy.
But Al Pacino got Best Actor.
Oh, that was it.
That was his first award after doing The Godfather.
I can't complain.
And all the other movies, Scarface, all the movies he done, he finally got an Academy Award.
Okay, I was wrong. I apologize. I can't be mad though. I really liked Unforgiven too.
Did he win for Heat?
I don't even know who was up for Heat.
Oh, well, it was probably the whole fucking cast.
Heat was a great movie, man. We got to watch that on here. I just got the 4K Blu-ray of that. It's one of the darkest movie transfers I've ever seen, though. You might want to watch the old Blu-ray. It's fucking dark. I don't know what they did to the color timing on this thing, but good Lord.
I should watch it on DVD.
They changed up the color timing, something fierce.
Well, damn, I thought Seven Woman won Best Picture.
It was up with, so it was Unforgiven, Crying Game, Few Good Men, Howard's End, and Son of a Woman.
Howard's End with
Howard's End,
the old guy.
That old guy.
The fava bean guy.
That old guy. Emma Thompson won Best Actor for that.
Anthony Hopkins, yeah.
The fava beans guy. That's what he's going by that from now on. That's perfect.
Mr. Fava beans. But anyway, that's my whole point, though. Is like this, a lot of times, like what was that movie that won the one year?
Unforgiven was Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was a solid flick. That was just what's funny about that is
that the one with Morgan Freeman and Clint Eastwood?
I don't know.
I don't.
But that's basically just a revenge tale of an old man, and somehow that gets in.
That's all.
Because I guess because it's an old man. I don't know. Like why? What's so different about it?
It's not just any old man. It's Clint Eastwood. He always
who gives a fuck?
He always gets the nods.
We give too much respect to fucking actors. They're just people with high paying jobs. I don't fucking have any respect for them.
I'm just saying throughout history, he always gets nominated for something. Something he directs. Something
he got nominated for that. What was the one with the woman boxer? I didn't like that. I didn't think it was that good.
Oh, $1 Million Baby. I never saw that.
Yeah.
No interest. I have no interest in the majority of his movies.
I didn't think it was that good. I liked them.
So that's when I was really, though, like, again, 91, 92 is when I really got to start going to the theaters again. And so I would see every movie I possibly could. And that's when I started learning, like, wait, these are the best movies? Like, I've seen better movies than this. Like, that's... I Unforgiven to me was like good. It was barely memorable. Like it's a good movie. Exactly, but it's not memorable.
I remember liking it. It was okay.
Yeah, it was a good movie. But I'm like, best movie? What the fuck were you watching?
It was that shootout at the end. It was a good shootout, man.
So you went from not going to movies to going to movies, and then
I gorged myself.
Now you're not going to movies again.
Hey, Logan said he'd go see the Mario Brothers movie with me.
Oh, fuck yeah. You guys better be going to see that.
John Wick's coming out, too.
I'll see John Wick.
So what happens in this? The princess saves Mario now or something? Is that what they're going with?
I just like that at least they're doing a whole CG movie in Mushroom Kingdom. And they're not doing like Sonic the Hedgehog where they put him in the real world. Like, I hate that shit. Let it be the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, you remember they already did that with Mario. It was like the first video game movie, Super Mario Brothers, and they did real life, and they were like in New York City, and then they did go to like the Mushroom Kingdom, but it was just fucking. It's like some weird cyberpunk.
Did you read the story on that movie?
Oh yeah, I've read a lot about that movie.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's crazy how bad it went wrong.
And like Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo just hated the directors.
Yeah,
like it was
just like fuck.
It's a hell of a story, man. It's definitely worth checking out.
Like how he got the job was like I forget how.
I think it was a directing team. I think it was
it was him and his wife or something. Or
how have we not watched this on the podcast yet?
Oh, dude, because it's hard to find. I have, of course, the limited edition Blu-ray, but it's a hard to find kind. Steve might have it on DVD. Let me show you what I got here.
Everybody leaves the podcast.
I'm looking
to fill in the blanks.
Check this out. This is the
that's
Blu-ray.
Nice. That is nice.
And it has reversible cover art, basically the same art, but yeah, it's got.
I remember seeing it for the first.
It's got featurettes. It's got like interviews, storyboards, behind the scenes stuff, extended work print with deleted scenes. I had to get this from Australia. They don't like this is. I had to get it though.
I remember seeing it. I was like, "That's their version of Goomba." That's their take on the Goombas.
Big giant guy with the little head.
Yeah.
It was like the opposite. It was like Goombas are little dudes with giant heads. And they're like, you know what? Let's make giant guys, tiny head. Like, what? What the fuck? Everything about that was so terrible. Then the Koopa Kids. Like we're just humans with tongues and shit. Dude, there's parts of that movie that are just downright disturbing. Dennis Hopper, just I swear to God, he's on just pure coke the whole time. He's Bowser, if you don't remember. But yeah, I watched this fairly recently because I found this company, Umbrella Entertainment. They also made my copy of the 1989 Punisher movie, the Dolph Lundgren one. They put that on Blu-ray, so I have that on Blu-ray now, thanks to the Umbrella Entertainment.
Nice.
But yeah, I've actually thought about making us watch this, but it's not easy to find. Like it might be on like YouTube or something.
Yeah, I was like, we watched the Power Rangers movie. I'm sure we can find it somewhere.
Yeah, but Nintendo though, Nintendo is notorious for like taking stuff down, and they're very litigious about their IP. So it might be harder to find. All right, did everybody watch The Raid 2?
Yes.
I think I finished it. I can't remember.
Wow.
I did start it.
I looked at the runtime on this. I was like, really?
Yeah, it was very long.
It was like
it took 2.5 hours. Nights.
So I've watched it before. So this time when I watched it, I literally just fast forwarded all the fight scenes. I'm not gonna lie. That's the whole reason I wanted to watch it. I don't care about why they're fighting. I don't care who anybody is. I'm just like every fight scene. I just love it. Do you understand what I mean though when I say it's like John Wick is action heavy and this is more violence heavy? It's incredibly gory movie. They got that kid with the baseball bat. Yeah, dude, it just blood and fucking gore flying everywhere. Not extreme, not like a crazy, not like Evil Dead. Yeah, but for an action movie, it's a lot.
Dude, they were introducing the characters, and I had the subtitles. Well, you have to have the subtitles on, or is it dubbed? I don't know. I didn't.
No, it's not dubbed.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think so. I had to watch subtitles.
So they're like explaining characters through photos, and I'm trying to look at the guy's picture, but they're saying his name at the same time. So halfway through the movie, I didn't know really who the characters were, and then finally, I guess. I mean, it's a simple story, but I still try to figure everything out what's going on. But yeah, these fight scenes were intense, man. There is this one gauntlet scene at the end where he has to fight this guy with two curved blades, and it goes on for fucking ever. And I'm like, how did they do this? And it's so fast too. Like it never slows down. Like that's something you got to rewind at least 40 times just to see how they do the moves. It's great, man. It was awesome.
Dude, it's fast as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He's Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan fast.
I didn't see their dad getting capped there either. I didn't see that coming. So, I mean, these fight scenes were intense. And like Sean said, bloody as hell. And that last fight scene was on a white floor, so the blood just popped even more everywhere. That shit's just great, man. Like I can watch that shit all fucking day, man. Like John Wick 4, can't wait. Stuff like this all day. It's like Sean said, there's no real, you don't need the story. This had
more of a story though than John Wick.
It had a lot of story that they didn't need.
Way.
It had 2 hours of story that wasn't necessary.
He didn't tell us we could fast forward to the fight scenes.
Well, I had seen it before, so I didn't feel the need to revisit that part. I just wanted to revisit the fight scenes. But I watched it years ago when John told me to watch it.
Sean always says if it's not worth our time, then we don't need to justify it. We can just fast forward.
Life is too short, man. I figured you guys might be upset when you saw that you had to read, but that's why I didn't warn you.
Dude, I watch everything on with subtitles.
It took me like 4 weeks.
Now that I have kids, dude, I watch new episodes of Mandalorian with subtitles on.
Dude, remember when you used to come over to my house and be like, turn it up, I can't hear it. Yeah. I was like, dude, my family's trying to sleep. I can't hear it. I don't care. I don't care. I
was like, I can't fucking hear it. I didn't get it until I had kids and a family.
I tried to tell you then. You just didn't care.
I just
it's not about me. It's about you.
No, I didn't understand. I was like, why? They're in the other room. Just turn it up so I can hear it. You would keep it on like super low though, man. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I have pretty bad hearing, so I have to keep shit pretty loud if I want to actually hear it. But yeah, this movie. This is I would give it 4 stars, but it is subtitled, so I got to drop it down to 3.
Wait a minute.
I don't like reading in my movies.
What was the raid? The first one, was it the same guy?
Yeah. The guy that's like in prison or whatever at the beginning of this movie, or he's like I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he's like part of like a SWAT squad or just a police officer, but they get called again. It's a lot like Dread. They get called to a building for something, but the building is controlled by like this gang, and he gets like separated, and he basically has to like fight his way out. And there's insane fight scenes too. One of the most memorable is like these guys. I don't know if you remember in Force Awakens, when Han and whoever, I don't remember the other people in the movie anymore. Finn? Which one was Finn?
Finn's a stormtrooper.
Oh, the black. Okay, yeah, Finn. When Han and Finn are running through that ship away from that giant fucking Cthulhu looking monster or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They were like one of the groups of people that showed up to like collect from Han.
Oh no shit! Like, are you fucking kidding? Is that squad? Yeah. Oh, that's cool as hell.
So like that one guy, like the main lead, and then like the other guy, I don't think he was in this, but he anyway, he had long hair. He was in the first raid. Like at some point they're fighting, and like he has like a broken bottle, and he takes the bottle and like shoves it into this guy's shoulder. And he's just still fighting with his bottle sticking out. It's fucking crazy. It's just, and if I remember correctly, that's how I remember it. I don't know if that's exactly right, but
yeah,
it's definitely stuck out in my mind. But again, just super violent fight scenes, trapped in a building.
Was there a point when at the end of the movie the guy gets out a shotgun and he almost gets him? He almost gets him with the shotgun. So was there any time in the movie, like if you back it up 45 minutes before that whole fight scene that led to that, none of those guys used a gun? does that make you angry, or you just know that it's a fighting movie and that's not gonna happen?
It's one of those things where I just kind of it's like Cobra Kai, where you just accept that reality that like guns aren't prominent or available for whatever reason. So everybody's just kung fu fighting. It's not
right.
Guns don't exist in Cobra Kai, from what I can tell. Nothing escalates past karate fights.
Yeah. And everybody waits their turn to get a hit in. It's absolutely. My turn, and it's my turn, and
you gotta be polite.
That's why I love the Burly Brawl in the Matrix. It's just like
right, they just rush in. Eventually.
Everybody just goes
They're
after
all rushing in.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 stars just because I like dubbed stuff. A lot of people hate dubbing. I love dubbing. All about dubbing.
Okay, so this main guy, is he a popular martial arts film guy, or is that basically his 2 films?
I only know him from that stuff. I'm not like I used to be, especially in the 90s, late 90s. I used to import DVDs. Like, you remember like Fist of Legend and stuff like that. Like we had to buy you had Fist of Legend, but I imported the uncut version because I found out there was an uncut version. So my version is a lot more violent. Same with Iron Monkey. The version that was released over here was PG-13. Got the uncut version. Somebody gets their head cut off. It was like, oh, that's weird, because tonally it doesn't really fit. It makes more sense for it to be PG-13. But yeah, there at some point somebody does get their fucking head cut off, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. But yeah, I used to be really heavy into the martial arts flicks, but I haven't really been like that in a long time. So I don't know. I'm sure he's got to be one of those younger guys. But speaking of John Wick 4 though, Donnie Yen is in. I don't know. Donnie Yen is in Iron Monkey. He was in all the Once Upon a Time in China movies. He's great. I think he was a villain in one of the Shanghai Noon movies, Shanghai Nights, whatever.
Like he stars in it, or he's like the choreographer?
No, he's in John Wick 4.
Oh, okay.
He's not, I don't know that he's probably a villain of some type, but he's just one of my favorites from back in the day that I felt like he was up there with Jet Li, but he never got like that Jet Li acclaim over here for whatever reason. You know, like
is he the bigger
that
dude?
Good.
Is he the bigger?
No, he's not a big guy.
Not
he's
the
not
bulky
a big guy.
I'm trying to think who he is.
Did well. That reminds me though. He is in a movie. I can't remember the name of it, and you're gonna think I'm making this up, but he is in a movie where he wears a fat suit and does kung fu, and he's called like Fat Kung Fu Guy is like the name of the movie or something. I swear to God, like I haven't seen that one. I saw the trailer. I'm just like, what? Why? They put him in a fat suit and made him do kung fu.
Donnie Chow.
It's like I got to figure out what that is now. I must know.
Dude, we used to watch those martial arts movies all the time, me and Sean.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Enter the Fat Dragon is the name of the movie. Just sorry, if you want to know, it's called Enter the Fat Dragon. I'm not making this up.
Sean and I would watch these movies and then put on ninja suits or whatever and try and reenact.
Oh yeah,
it's just good stuff. Speaking of, we played Ninja Turtles there last couple weekends ago. I forget when it was. And Sean's like, it's good to know that 40 years later, we're still doing the same thing. Like
we're playing the old 1990s Ninja Turtle games and we're both picking the same turtles we picked
right. Like
30 years ago.
Neither one of us deviates from our turtles. Like he's always Leonardo. I'm Mikey. None of us ever played Raphael or Donatello.
Right.
It's just fucking great, man. It's like Sean's like, nothing changes. I was like, I guess not.
Some things changed, but apparently Ninja Turtles is forever because we were just happy as shit, like on a Friday night, just fucking playing Turtles in Time and the arcade game.
Mm-hmm. You gonna talk about that trailer, dude?
Oh yeah, Ninja Turtle trailer. Yeah. I forgot about that. So that trailer dropped. It looks good. It's very much like Spider-Verse looking.
Yeah.
Art style, and then the art style is very, very stylized, which I fucking love. The cast sounds great. I'm pretty hyped for it. It looks a million times better than the last two Michael Bay produced movies, and it comes out in August. And I'm fucking hyped, dude. I hope there's a new wave of young folks getting into Turtles.
Yeah,
because of this movie.
It looks so fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, it just looks fun. It's not dark or anything like the first one. I still wish they would kind of do that as well, not in place of. Like I understand trying to keep that 4-quadrant appeal, but I do wish they would go darker somewhere outside of the comics, like they kind of did in that first movie.
They might not be showing their whole hand in the trailer. It might get somewhat darker.
It's definitely possible.
I mean, dude, yeah. No, you don't think so, Rob?
Nope.
They're definitely kids in this one. They're young teenagers.
They are teenagers. They behave like teenagers for sure. But I'm stoked on it, man. It just looks like it's like one of those. It's like a Pixar movie. It looks fun for the whole family kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I would like to see. I think with the Michael Bay, they kind of veered darker in a way, but in a way that nobody liked because it was terrible because it was Michael Bay. I was thinking about this the other day. Like Will Arnett was in that movie, in both of those movies, right? Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He had like a pretty main role. He was right there alongside April O'Neil. And I don't know if you remember this, but his character is a character from the cartoon named Vernon. And he talks like this. I don't know if you remember that guy, but he was a coworker of April O'Neil's. And all I can think is like, that's who you bring in? You bring in Vernon, the fucking posh douchebag. Michael Bay's like, we got to cast that guy. Like, that's how stupid they were making those fucking movies. Like, nobody else is casting Vernon. And then they're like, hey, we're going to make a $200 million Ninja Turtle movie. Well, we got to have Vernon. We got to have this guy who shows up. And he's like, like, and I like Will Arnett. It's not,
I was going to say, I was like, that's a waste of him too,
Yeah, it was like, dude, we didn't need that character. It was so stupid. And then when they cast Casey Jones in the second one, they cast this dude who looked like me when I was 13. It's like, Casey Jones is supposed to look intimidating. He's not. Instead, they cast that guy who played Arrow. And I was just like, oh, the guy's tiny. Anyway.
How close? How tall is he, Mr. Within an Inch?
Who?
Yeah.
I got to be looking at it. I got to see it on the screen. Like, I got to have comparison. I can't just guess out of the air.
It's
a lot harder.
He's like 7 feet tall.
He looked. I'm guessing he's about as tall as Jenna Ortega, who looks like she's about 5 feet tall. So that's about how big he looks.
So he's very tiny.
He looks so tiny. And I don't know how big he is. I just know he looks tiny. And you're just like, this is not, it's like watching Chris O'Donnell be Robin. I think Chris O'Donnell's probably bigger than that dude. But you're just like, this guy's such a dork. Like, he's not intimidating. He's not scary. He's fucking stupid. He's a pretty boy. Get him the fuck out of here.
Well, that role didn't help. There wasn't, I mean, they could have made the character not comedic and like over the top stupid.
Don't get me started.
I like Batman. Did you guys watch the Chris Rock special at all?
I sure did.
Did you? What did you think?
Yes. I enjoyed it.
I did too. Like, it was,
I enjoyed
a
it.
lot of people are saying it's not that great. I fucking laughed my ass off, man.
I don't know that it was like amazing, but I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved hearing his when he started ranting about Will Smith and what a piece of shit he is. So I've never liked Will Smith, so I feel vindicated in not like. I never had like a specific reason. That's not true. The reason I never liked Will Smith is because he always seemed arrogant, always. And even when he tried to play humble, you could tell he was just trying to play humble. Like, he's an arrogant asshole. The only time I ever liked him was like before he even had a TV show, when he did music with DJ Jazzy Jeff, and he did like juvenile songs like You Saw My Blinker Bitch and Nightmare on My Street and that kind of stuff. It's the only era of Will Smith I've ever liked. I did like the Men in Black movies. But that's it.
What was Molly and I just watched that movie with the robot? iRobot. Did you watch that?
I did watch that.
I thought that was good.
I don't really remember it. I don't really remember it. I watched that because I like the director, the same guy that did Dark City.
The special effects in there are great for what year did it come out, man? It's like flawless.
Well, it's not that he does like bad movies. I just don't like him as a person.
Yeah.
I don't like Will Smith. I'll go see his movies. I don't hate him enough. Like, I saw Hancock.
I felt bad for Chris Rock because he botched one of the punchlines there, or he gave it away. But you can tell he's still like, he's been stewing on this shit for a year, and he just
Well, he's getting heated, man. It's
I know. He's obviously still fucking affected by that for sure.
That whole thing too last year, like when that happened, and then like nobody did anything. Like, so you have all these virtue signaling fucking Hollywood rich people who are they're always telling you how good they are and how, you shouldn't be mean. Like, they just watched a man get assaulted and not a person said or did a fucking thing. They fucking sat there like the fake ass motherfuckers they are. and then he gets up there then they give him the best actor award. That should have immediately been like, give me the envelope. We got to put somebody else in. Right. No, they give it to him. And then they give him a standing ovation. Not a single, if I was there, dude, at the very least I would have done would have been, boo, boo. Like, I would have just booed it. That's the least they could have done. Instead, standing ovation. So a bunch of fake ass virtue signaling fucking pieces of shit. Like,
watching his acceptance speech, I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking hard to watch.
And I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of it, but I heard about it. I heard it was 19 minutes long.
Dude, it was like cringe-worthy. It was so cringe.
Yeah. It was like, we just watched you assault one of the greatest comedians of all time with no repercussions. And now you're going to get up here and talk about being humble and all this kind of stuff.
Chris Rock, he's like, everybody said, did it hurt? He's like, yeah, it fucking hurt. It still fucking hurts. Dude, he had a bit about abortion, dude, to have me fucking rolling, dude. And he's like, I don't care if it's fucking 4 years after. I was like, if your grades are down, dude, time to go back to the clinic.
See, and I said this, and Maggie was like, that's a joke I've been making for years about like 36 trimester abortions. Like, I've been making that. So it is nice to see somebody at that level make the same jokes. That's why I like Bill Burr so much, when he would much more eloquently state things about being angry in traffic and stuff, because that's how I always felt. I watched Bert Kreischer's new special, which was really good. So I recommend that. Check that out.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Good stuff if you like Bert Kreischer.
So overall, you like the Chris Rock? I really enjoyed it, but I've heard.
And I watched the after show too. I didn't know there was like a pre-show thing, but I watched the after show with like David Spade, Dana Carvey, JB Smoove, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Arsenio Hall. And there's somebody else there. I can't remember who she was.
What's Arsenio doing nowadays?
just being rich, probably.
Rolling the money.
But that was fun to watch them talk about the special. And
yeah, I didn't know there was a post game or whatever. So
I guess it was only if you watched it live.
Yeah,
you watched it when it was live.
Because they put it on, they're like post game, and then it just ended. I'm like, fuck.
Well, I didn't know there was like a pre-show. Like we tuned in like right at 10, and we see like Leslie, what's her name? The chick from the Ghostbusters movie. She's finishing up a set, and we're like, we didn't know there was like other comedians going on. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
like that's not because they weren't advertising it. Like I would go to Netflix, they didn't even have it like advertised to me like in that time frame.
Yeah,
I would have looked for it.
I would have tuned in the first day.
Soon.
Yeah,
yeah,
like frustrating.
I really enjoy the special though. So
yeah, it's. I've always liked Chris Rock. Going back to like SNL, I think it was pretty much the first time when he would do. He had that segment, Nat X or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He had the afro and everything. Oh man, those were great.
Yeah. He played Malcolm X. Yeah.
But yeah, Nat X or something like that.
Right.
I forget what it was. But, he just that whole era though. Like I mean, growing up when it was like David Spade, Chris Farley, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
Such a crazy cast. And then they all went on to be successful. But yeah, Burt Kreischer's special is good. Chris Rock's special is worth watching.
Are you going to see the Machine movie with Burt Kreischer?
I'll see that at home. I won't go to the theater to see it, but yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
it's
of
course see the dramatized version. Mark Hamill's in it.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, Mark Hamill, sweet,
right?
I was like, I was going to see it anyway. I was like, now I'm definitely going to see it.
Dude, this is like the year of Burt Kreischer, man. That dude's blowing up.
Yeah.
What else do we got? I got to figure out a comic for next week. I really, really wanted to read some the Tick comics. I don't know if you remember that cartoon, but they're just not